Yo. Yo, peace. Elevation in 5 minutes here. What's going on, everyone? So, in this video, I don't know what we're going to talk about. Doesn't matter what we're going to talk about, but we're going to have 5 minutes of action-packed, powerful, whatever you want to call it. So, if we look at technology, right, we can actually start to understand that it is like a building. And we are the light. Now, if you can imagine a building and a light, a small light in a building, and you can start to imagine that there is a big light outside the building. And that big light is like a vacuum. That vacuum wants to suck that light back out of the building, because that light in that building doesn't belong to that building. That light belongs to the bigger light outside the building. And then you can start to think, well, if that big light has the power to suck you out of that building like a magnet, imagine that. Not necessarily a magnet, but that big light just is sophisticated enough that it can suck you out of that building. But all you have to do is surrender yourself, because that big light knows how to get you out of that building. Now, that was reality, really. That building is what we call technology. And that technology is basically keeping us not necessarily in the building, but it's keeping us distracted to think that we're actually not in a building. And imagine that light in the building. If it thinks that the building is just what we call life, well then what you call life will only be whatever is in that building. Whoa. But if you can understand that there is something deeper, greater, more powerful, then it is the divine energy. If we can understand that building is not preventing you from connecting to that divine energy, because that's not true. But that building is definitely just keeping you distracted from the divine energy. It is keeping you entertained. Distracted is a good word. So how do we get in connection to that divine energy? Surrender yourself. Because that divine energy is like a vacuum. As long as you surrender yourself, it will suck you back to the flow of the universe. That was kind of, an analogy. Peace. Love.